Alright, so in this particular problem, in order to really get your kind of mind wrapped around how to do this problem, you have to go back to what all this stuff means. If you understand what all of this stuff means, it's very easy to utilize it and anytime you need it. Okay, so again, this relates to what term you want. Okay, so if I want the 10th term, this would be 10, and so on, so on, so on. Okay, this means that this is the first term you're working with. And I want you to notice that this number matches this one here. That's an important thing to know. Alright, and we know this is the ratio, and we know n is the term that you want. So, the way to do this type of problem, what you need to understand is what happens if you're doing a problem where the first term you have is not A1. So what you're going to do is you're going to change this slightly to your needs. And so you're going to put A2 in here. Okay, and then R minus N minus 2. Okay, so you're starting from the second term instead of the first term. So now you have the information that you need. Watch. I can put in, because you want basically this lowest term to be the one you stick in right here. That's basically how you use this formula. You just have to make sure you accommodate it by making sure that this number here matches it. Okay, 2 and 2. This was, if the first term they gave me was a 20, I would make sure this is a 20 and make sure there's a 20 over here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to plug in a 5. That's the one I have over here, actually. I don't want to do too much work, but let me plug in so you can see what it looks like. 6 times, we don't have R, that's the problem that we don't have. And then we have 5 minus 2. Okay, so 0.048 equals 6 times R cubed. Alright, so we need to solve equations here. So we're going to divide both sides by 6. Then we have R cubed equal to, let me grab my calculator, see some computations. I gotta use my mouse. Okay, 0.048 divided by 6 is 0.008. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but in order for us to get to R and we have a cube, we have to do the opposite, which is take the cube root of it. Sort of like when you had squares in geometry, and you had to do a squared, b squared, c squared, and you had to take the square root. That's the same idea. So we're undoing this. So this is going to be the cube root. We're going to put that in the calculator, so don't worry. Alright, so let's see. Go here. Put in, let's see, clear. Cube root. Now how are you going to do that? Alright, you type in a 3. Hit the math key, and oops, actually, take that back. Let me clear this out. I forgot it has its own. Hit the math key, and number 4 here is the one you want. And then just type in 0.008. 0.2. Okay, so 0.2 is R. We now have what we need to figure out what A4 is. So A4, wow, that's an ugly, ugly A. A4 is equal to now A2, right, because we're using this formula up here. Or 6 times R minus, remember that we're looking for 4, so this is 4, whoops, sorry, we have R. R is 0.2. And then we're doing 4 minus 2. Okay, so 6 times 0.2 times 2. So that's 6 times 0.04, which is 0.24. And that's my answer. So, it's a little bit tricky because you got used to having this term always be 1 and the first term given to you is 1. When they start moving away from that, basically what they've done is kind of shifted within the sequence. They didn't start from the beginning and keep going. They moved it. So we have to, in order for us to be able to use our formula, we have to accommodate that. So you can change this number to whichever term is the earliest. That's what I would do, like the smallest one in terms of the end numbers. So since this is a 2, I made that a 2, but then I have to change that to a 2, and it always works. Remember, these numbers, this value here is giving you how many times you've used that ratio to get from term to term to term to term. That's why if you notice it says n minus 1, it's because you didn't do, it's like number of jumps. Well, if you had, 4 numbers, right? And you had a number here, whatever it is, just make up whatever. You have a number here. To get to the next number, to get to the next number, to get to the next number. Notice there's 4 numbers, but you only did 1, 2, 3 jumps. So you did 1 less than the number of terms you're working in. That's why this is n minus 1. Now, if you're going to shift it over, then what happens is now you're starting over in this term. Instead, you've got to accommodate the fact that you're not using the first term. And that's why I have n minus 2, because I'm doing 1 less jump from the beginning, because of the fact that I'm chopping off this guy. I'm not including this first jump. I'm starting from jump here. So I have 1 less. So it's like having n minus 1 minus another one. It's taking it away. Taking up 1 less jump.